Salvate.
This is David.
This is West and it's Mike. It's Niet. Speaking of Niet, we're going to play Indika. You don't know anything about Indika.
Nope.
Okay. So whatever's going to happen next is going to be a complete surprise, which is good.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to describe Indika as being for an intersection of two kinds of people.
Oh, okay.
Let's say three. I'm thinking I'm three circles in this Venn diagram. One, introspective look at Eastern Orthodox religious obligation.
Okay.
Two, the part in an Andrei Tarkovsky movie where there's a really long take and nothing happens and you're just vibing with the Russian scenery.
Okay.
Three, the part in DMC, the Devil May Cry reboot, where the whole world splits in half because you've gone to the other world.
That's a pretty...
At the middle of that
is you?
We have Indika. That's where the middle is. We're gonna start here. This is a little flashback. We're gonna have a little flashback to a little Indika. Learn how to drive.
I love this art style.
Relax. Much like the Apocalypse players, just imagine that they're all Russian accents. I'm not going to do any.
We could do one as like Welsh and one and just say it's Russian.
I could say da, and yet.
Yes.
That's all I got. Don't you have one too many drinks, ride? You finished. One of them's yours. Simple. Right trigger, that's gas. Left stick, steering. Okay. Kind of drift around here a little bit there. All right.
This music gives me very much like
Cave Story vibes.
Lisa. I was thinking Lisa,
okay.
The Painful RPG vibes.
Yeah, the second one of those was actually, I guess it's not free anymore, but it was free on Epic.
Oh yeah, it was. Well, that was the Painful.
The second one, the sequel.
It was
the Joyous. It was the Joyous. That was
well.
The one
It's the Painful and the Joyful. They're two different things. They're essentially two chapters to a story.
Sure. So it was the Joyful one that was available.
It was
actually
both of them.
It might have been
bundled.
A combo. It was a combo.
It was the bundled combo.
Our dad is like losing. Hit that nos.
Oh.
There he goes.
Oh. And now he's dead.
He's not dead, but okay, look, he's fine. 2 wrenches, 913 millimeter, and a hammer. Is it yours? Who are you? It's Mirko. Like, you can't see the title. Your bike is junk. It's the first time you've seen a bike like this. So it's literally the best one you've ever seen.
Yeah.
4-liter boiler. More like 50.
Bursts.
Versts. I don't know what a verst is. I kind of assumed it was like Russian
unit of measurement.
Let
me see.
Like, something.
Verst.
BERST. Do you know how much it costs? Don't be scared. I'll be careful. Just one lap. Mirko is kind of just yep. He's all right, and he's taking the bike.
And he's pedaling it? Huh.
It does seem like there's a pedal kind of thing too. It's not just like a just like a full-on
steam bike,
or automobile.
Mm-hmm. A verst is about 1.07 kilometers or 2/3 of a mile.
Okay, well, there you go. Context clues.
Mm-hmm.
We had to celebrate and rejoice, for this brother of yours was dead and has begun to live. He was lost and has been found.
Oh, prodigal son. Wait, this is a different art style.
It's still made of pixels.
Yeah. Are flashbacks retro graphics because they're older?
The flashbacks, and I think also fantasies that Indika has, are pixel art, it seems like.
Are you all right?
A stark contrast to the brutal reality which she lives in.
I'm sorry, can I take a look, please?
There's nothing to look at. Better give me an injection.
Oh my god. I'm afraid this'll have to... If we don't amputate it, you won't survive the afternoon.
Our prison doctor, he told me the same thing. Word for word. But that was over a week ago.
And he didn't do anything?
Sadly, the only surgical equipment he had was a rusty wash basin.
Very funny.
All right. Don't worry. It should be like that. Only like that. I'm also talking to God.
To God. Great.
Morphine, I assume?
You need to get up if
Yeah.
you don't want to lose something else to frostbite.
Also, I think that bike of hers could go 30, almost 34 miles an hour.
What do you mean you talk to God?
What?
That's fast for a bike.
Oh, my arm. You've seen my
Fast
arm?
bike.
Yes. It's been a week or more.
I doubt it.
We've entered one of
And what
those
does
circles
God
I
have
mentioned.
To do with this?
Ah,
Well, let me explain. Ever since that night, everything, every event, it all happened as I was told it would.
I think about two of them.
I'm certain I was the only one who left that
A
train
stark
alive.
Russian winter,
It's all going according to
some
plan, and
religious
every step is God's plan. Do you
philosophy.
understand?
So taking me hostage was God's plan?
I know what you're thinking. But remember the gospel. The father who gave his money to the prodigal son, not to the beloved one, the good one, but to the bandit. He who had been murdering and stealing but came back.
it
He came back.
doesn't say he murdered.
Understand? I think the Lord is happier to see one repentant sinner than 100,000 righteous people. I don't know.
I don't think the
They don't even need
exact
repentance.
nature
Do you
of
hear
the
me?
son's misdoings is
know,
the
he
point of
laid
the
everything
story,
out before me.
but
That's fair.
Spread out like a
But there's a
deck of
difference
cards.
between
Past,
saying, I wish my
future.
father was dead and I could have his inheritance,
God,
and
who
I'm gonna
else?
murk some
I
fools.
was lying there, about to die. And a sister, just like you, brought me some water in this mug. And I was drinking and I saw ripples in the water. Little round waves. And heard a whisper. So I drank. And
You heard God in a cup?
in a cup. Yes.
FK in the coffee.
That's not the point.
FK in the
I'll show
coffee.
you when we get there.
Indika is a nun, as you might have surmised,
Yeah.
based on the flashback.
Do this.
Was not always.
As if they blocked the passage on purpose.
Ilya here is a survivor of a prison train. Seems to be one of the only survivors.
Oh, yeah.
Unknown what it is that he was, let's say, in for.
I mean,
sure we'll find out later. Or maybe
it's-
not, actually.
it's Russia, presumably, so probably
Yeah, some
literally
kind of-
nothing. It's just as likely
Maybe
it was nothing as something.
Sure. And it might also be, I haven't made the game yet, so maybe it doesn't even come up, because it's not really important.
Important, yeah.
I'm gonna go light this candle. This icon here.
Oh, hey. What is in the bed? Oh, hey, you leveled up.
I leveled up.
What?
Level 9.
Neat.
Nice.
I don't like that.
A Russian doll.
I don't like that it's... okay.
Life of St. John. One day, Venerable John fell into a pit. He was a God-fearing and meek monk, so he remained in the pit with humility. On the third day, John doubted himself. Had he, out of cowardice, mistaken the Lord's test for his will? Should he sit at the bottom of the pit in his own filth, or climb out of the darkness and into the light? He started to pray to God, and he immediately gave John a sign. A spruce branch leaned down into the pit. John grabbed the branch and climbed out of the pit. After realizing that, in his hubris, he had been tempted by the demons, John cried. Terrified, he jumped back into the pit and prayed for God's forgiveness. God forgave John and awarded him with numerous spiritual gifts. And I get 10 points.
Cool.
The intro of this game, before meeting up with Ilya,
Yeah.
is like slice of life at the convent. And this is where I think of the Tarkovsky parallel,
Okay.
because it is extremely boring, and by design.
Maybe there's something in that shed.
You have to do a bunch of meaningless tasks repeatedly,
Mm-hmm.
and they take forever, and it's not like, there's no shortcut.
Right.
You don't get two-thirds of the way through, and then like there's an explosion, and then you're off on an adventure. I was like, okay, I can understand. It's like I am vibing with what is happening here. It was like,
Yeah.
there's a sense of duty and obligation that is like, what is the point of doing this? All the people here kind of hate you.
I've missed
You're a
this
pariah,
scene.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what does that do to a person? She's kind of like weird, I suppose, in a way, which comes across in maybe her backstory, her interests. Also, there is a voice that follows her, which might be a sort of schizophrenic thing of just vocalizing intrusive thoughts
Mm-hmm.
that she has dialogue with. Might actually be the devil. Indika is not certain. Fragment of
Cool.
holding icon though.
Yeah.
Got some points. The skill tree is hilarious. We can
Okay.
go back to the skill tree. Can't check the skill tree. Okay. Maybe if we get 1,630 Jesus points by the time we're done, we'll be able to
To see some
of
more
the,
skills.
Skills. Uh-huh.
Okay. I do like that you can pick that ladder up and move it. That is oddly novel in a game like this.
Yeah. This is not... It's not exactly... it's much on a continuum between like adventure game, walking sim. I'd say it's probably right in the middle.
Found a wrench.
Mhm.
There's definitely
A
find
different
some
pair
things,
of
do a
circles.
little bit of find the item or interact with this thing, but not like full on like missed logic puzzles or something.
Mm-hmm.
So and like the lightest bit of like climbing around to find the way out of something. So not just walking, but it's definitely a moody thing. rather than a action game.
Oop, there goes the bike.
Lord have mercy.
What's that?
Just a dog. Calm down.
I hate them. Hurry up.
That's a big dog.
Quiet, little
Very
doggy.
mangy.
We won't hurt you.
You crazy? Run.
Okay. This music is cadet.
Kujets. I think.
What is that?
Pronunciation. We shall see.
Okay.
I guess it's at the most basic level. It's a chapter marker.
Yeah.
You know, I would have already fucked you up with my bare hands if I wanted. Well, hand.
Why?
I mean, why the fuck did you throw away the revolver? Would have been useful. I mean, a girl. I would never. Oh, shit.
Tell me something. If you're God's chosen one, why didn't God heal you completely right away?
That's a good question. Here's your answer. Here.
Temple John of Damascus, Spatsov, or maybe Spazov.
Yeah.
The only rational remedy for infertility, insobriety, infidelity, and other physical complications and afflictions of the soul.
Okay.
The Kujets.
Place to go to be healed. Has
Ah.
its own flyer.
I don't understand. So God had enough power only to stop the rotting, but to heal you completely, he needed some kind of tool.
It's not about the tool. A man can't be saved against his will, you see. Basically, it has nothing to do with my arm. It's about the path we've been given, and whether to follow it or not. It's up to us.
What do I have to do with it?
I don't like how the camera's moving like it's
So,
attached to a thing.
Possessed people are taken to the Kujets.
Everybody is. Do I look possessed to you?
No, not you. All right, let's get out of here.
Hoist me up.
Me hoist you up.
Yes, you. You won't be able to pull me up from up there.
What happened to her hand?
Per the, let's see, I think I can get that in the inventory. Indika's life became completely unbearable. She clutches the cross on her rosary so hard that blood oozes from her palm. It is the only way to drown out the devil's hateful voice.
Ah.
Ilya? Are you alive? Ilya!
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
What's going on?
If we were to assume the devil is a,
Of course it wasn't a coincidence, and now
there we go.
Indika
The voice is back.
realized it too. She had heard about the Kudets and its miracles, but right now, in Spasov and Ilya, meeting a prisoner who talks to God would not be an everyday occurrence. Also, Indika took a liking to him.
Who, this one? No.
One way or another, there was certainly no doubt that she had to head for Spasov and not the Danilov monastery.
The letter.
the actual job given by
Cannot
the
neglect my duty.
the
What if
abbess.
there's something important in it?
Open it. See for yourself.
No. Reading someone else's letter is a greater sin than not delivering it.
Greater? How much greater?
Twice as much. I don't know.
It's a really tall building.
So, not
It is,
delivering 2 letters.
It is
the
as
same
tall
reading
as the
1.
devil's monologue is long.
What about stealing? Pocketing a ruble, for example. Is that worse?
Worse.
How much worse?
This is nonsense. You can't compare such things.
Why not? The priest imposes a different penance for different sins, and since you know for sure which is better or worse, there has to be a way of measuring. Then let us say that stealing is 10 times worse than not delivering a letter. What about murder? Let us put that at 1,000 letters. That would mean that if a postman were to lose a sack full of letters, we'd have a murderer. Although, maybe there should be a bulk discount. What about a rapist? A rapist is better than a murderer, right? You are not scared of the sin. You are scared of the letter. Perhaps you should not open it. Do not do it.
Oh, hey, it's the other world.
It's that third circle.
You don't even have anything to say. The abbess knows you inside out, so everything turned out just as written. Defrocked her? How did that happen?
You have a dedicated prayer button.
Wasn't after Tikon had knocked her up, but you.
Rosalia, keep wisdom, hashtag compassion on us, so also in these latter days.
Oh, this
And
is
if,
cool.
By chance, you were to kill someone and go to jail, sooner or later you'd get pushed out of there as well. Yeah, Daddy's gonna send another postcard for Easter.
Is the protocol I have sent before.
What in the heck are you walking next to?
Defrocked. So where now?
A normal cow.
Christ, receive me as thou didst the puppet. As of old thou didst raise up the paralytic, O Lord God, by thy godlike.
So everything turned out just as written.
Useless anyway.
Points are useless. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I had drawn that conclusion about 15 minutes into the game. Even so,
Still gonna get them.
yeah. Mostly because you'd get points for
Where's the dog?
exploring and finding
Good
stuff.
question. I haven't heard it for a while.
Listen, I'll help you get to Spasov.
Somehow, Indika was convinced that the Kudyets was going to solve all
Kudyets.
of her problems, that soon the voice in her head would disappear, and she would return to the monastery as someone who deserves at least forgiveness, if not everyone's love.
St. Christopher, the Marmarikian tribe, wolf-headed people.
Huh.
She thought that
I am not an
years of
expert in
suffering
Russian
had been leading her up to this
Eastern
exact
Orthodoxy.
moment.
I'm gonna need some help.
Yeah.
Some of
figured out
these,
what this
like,
place
which of
is.
these are
This is Denise
like
Hotel,
historical
paint factory.
references, and which ones are just sort of
Arthur told
like
me about it. She's
alternate
an
history
iconographer.
inspired
They
by
make yellow
stuff.
paint in that shed.
Where is everyone?
There was an explosion. They say everyone was evacuated in one day.
Americans, I guess.
Very likely.
Or the English.
So, do you ever get to see what was in the letter exactly?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You look at the letter in your inventory, it doesn't actually give you the text of the letter.
Okay.
It just says to, from
And
to.
the narrator said that she was to be defrocked and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually, it seems like an insult, but maybe for the best, because it seemed like a miserable ascetic life full of other miserable Christians, in quotes.
It is very, that whole conversation about the weight of specific sins is very, well, it's Catholic as well, but much less of a thing.
I'm of course much more familiar with the American Southern Baptist evangelical style of guilt and shame rather than like the Roman Catholics or the Russian Orthodox version, but there's overlap, I'm sure.
I will say the like theologically speaking, Protestant wise, all sin is equal. So it's not that there is a sin that is worse or better as far as God is concerned.
Think of something.
So like
Yep, that's traditional Protestantism, where it's like, and then depending on which, denomination or interpretation, is like, where does the sin come from? Is it based on choice? Is it preordained? Is it there with you before you were born in a certain way? That's more Catholic, but still.
Yeah.
I love the writing on the devil, which it doesn't ever just say that it's the devil, other than like in like the description of the game, like on it's like, and the nun goes on a journey with an unlikely ally by her side, the devil himself. It works good. The voice is very good. It's well written, well acted. Everything is well written and well acted in this game. I'll put out there, but the devil specifically being more of a voice of. Like I said, like intrusive thoughts keeps it very ambiguous.
Yeah.
But also being well versed in just like logical deduction, which in this case is something that Indika herself is also a fan of. So it makes sense that there would be.
And also, like the whole
meet her that way.
The whole discussion about oops, it did.
Jump in the water, man.
The whole discussion about the weight of sins and all that is like, I don't remember the name of it, but that is a common like theological thought exercise. Like at what point does, this minor thing, if you do it enough, like how can that ever be equivalent to this even worse thing? I don't remember the name of it, but it's essentially,
The stairs are broken.
Oh, well darn.
We'll have to go through the mill.
Yes, if like you're a fan of the occasional theological thought experiment and the tradition of the great theodicies of the past, then that's another. Maybe we'll add that as another circle for this game.
This is a very complicated series of circles.
I'm right in the middle of them so far, so it's just like there's a lot of great philosophizing about. And the nature of evil, like, so a theodicy, just in case people don't just know that word, which maybe I don't expect people to just know.
People probably don't. I don't know why
it's like a formal defense or explanation or argument to explain the problem of evil, essentially, which in its most basic form is like, if there's an all-good God, why does evil exist in any form?
Yeah, the most basic one,
And then, the most basic one. And then there's all kinds of different formulations and different thoughts over the years from all kinds of different, not even just Christian specifically, but, all kinds of different philosophizing about the nature of evil.
How beautiful.
We had this one artist in the clink. He drew his family on the wall with his own shit. They look so lifelike.
What?
He was like that. Didn't manage to finish the drawing of the daughter, though. Left her with just one eye. He got stabbed.
Because of the stench?
No. He was drawing on the wall outside. It was minus 30 degrees. Shit doesn't really stink when it's cold. He got stabbed because, well, it's against the code.
Drawing and
feel like
poop
there
is
might
against
be-
the code?
I feel like there might be some thematic parallels
So where do we go
between
now?
The elevator.
the disproportionate retribution
Here's
for
the gearing.
violating
Gears that
precepts
way.
in
By
a
blocking one of the wheels,
structured
you can
environment of
change
the
the
prison
direction of the shaft rotation.
and some other things that Indika's went through.
I see.
Hmm.
Doesn't fucking work.
Nothing works here right now.
What's the hold up?
Got a cotter.
It's a cotter, a safeguard. It breaks when there's an overload to protect the important parts of the engine.
I see. It works.
Oh, you can control Ilya.
Ilya. I think that actually probably should say like command.
Okay. I thought you were about to switch perspective.
Yeah, I wasn't able to switch perspective. That's what I thought too, but no, it's more a case of just tell him to do the thing.
Go up.
We're gonna do a little platforming puzzles here.
So out of curiosity, I just looked up what negative 30 Celsius would be in Fahrenheit. It's negative 22 degrees.
Okay. It's where the numbers kind of converge at a certain point.
It's pretty close to.
They're both really cold. Is
Yeah.
the answer?
At what temperature does your eyeball freeze?
Walking that plank.
Are you afraid of heights?
No.
Okay, it can as long as you're alive. But
Told you we should have got around.
Ever been to the circus?
Yeah.
Like
That's
playing a video
terrifying.
game now.
yeah. It's Uncharted. Are you having to rotate your controller left and right? Use that 6-axis?
A little bit. Oh no, not the 6-axis. Get ahead of this thing.
Why does that stop it?
Nope, wrong button. It didn't. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, it just buys you some time.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, have it go that way, then double back.
Oh. Does the game ever let you just yup yourself off a cliff like it's a old Sierra adventure game?
Yep. And the devil will chide you for it. Like, oh, how unfortunate.
Sorry.
So the devil is just like Cedric the Owl. Oh.
Killed it.
The dog deserved it. It was bad. It was sinful.
There are no sinners among dogs. Only humans can sin. Tempted by the devil.
Love the direction.
And that
it's
dog,
here.
its humans left, stopped feeding it. So it became a matter of survival.
Interesting. So what's the difference between a human and a dog? The thing you're blaming the devil for is as likely to happen to a human as it is to a dog. It gets angry when its food is taken away. It's ready to tear anyone apart if its possessions are threatened. A dog gets sad if its beloved human is not around. It gets jealous, anxious, even sodomy is possible. Remember that one time when Georgie...
That's different. They needed to survive. To find the most promising partner to give birth to offspring.
And a human? You have such a simple explanation for a dog, But how come humans can never do without divine or devilish intervention?
Nothing a human can do cannot be explained with divine or devilish intervention.
Oh, that's fair.
It's like I'm in church.
Yeah.
Finally, the station.
Does a dog have a soul?
This
All their masters.
I will say this
Is that even possible without a soul?
it's a very
Does one need a
it's a very dark game.
I hadn't noticed.
Like very dark humor, but also very like very dour at times. Lots of I guess adult situations, to put it lightly. So
Is it possible
okay.
to love without a body?
maybe not lots, but it has such
What
a
remains if you deprive a dog of a body?
particular tone.
How can it love something it can't hear or sniff?
And I've loved it so far.
How can it
There is
remember
some
someone it loves if it
more
loses its
wild
brain
images,
with its memories?
extremely good
In a world without bones,
direction, like camera angles and the relationship between the two
Creation.
characters. Great.
beautiful women, rich men.
Actually, do have a vista.
Oh, we have an actual vista.
Basically.
An actual vista, not
You
just
can,
dog
s-
head.
you can sit down in the snow. Ooh. Oh, you got multiple views?
Any of it exist without the body?
For a dog?
What? Yes.
Oh yeah, so you're talking
for
about a dog.
Well, if you like this and the other things we do, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Most direct way to support us. You also do the YouTube stuff, the like, the comment, the subscribe. Let other people know that we're pretty awesome. We love making stuff like this, and all those things make it easier.
Indika.
God, no. The cave.
Shadows Die.
Shadows Die.
Sorry. Okay.
Brothers?
definitely
Was that one? Was that another
Brothers?
one?
This was a game. That's a game.
Yeah.
Swedish, but you know,
Yeah.
that's closer to Russia.
Oh, what was the weird with
than
the
America,
ship?
I suppose.
The weird one with the ship.
Cryostasis.
Thank you.
It's like Russian icebreaker. Cryostasis. Ah,
Yeah,
very good.
the other Russian one I can think of
there's
is the Void. So
Yeah. This game is it's very surreal, which I really enjoy. Like the things that happen, the characters don't really comment on because it gives I get the impression that these are things that are just normal to their world. But like, there's some like inside-esque megastructures. They're just like, oh yeah, that's just how factories, as an example, work in this world. I'm like, okay. And then the constant philosophizing and theologizing, I am also very into. As me personally, on my own spiritual journey, I'm at a point where I'm very very aware of the over reliance on the concept of a soul to explain away a lot of things.
Yeah.
Non-verifiable.
Yeah.
Having the body is, or the soul of the body is the same. It has there's a unity there. You can't just have one without the other. But it's not necessarily true for different dogmas. So
Yeah.
especially one I grew up in, the soul is the only real thing, and everything else is just a flesh prison. Which, like a lot of Paul's stuff, is very Greek in its outlook. Which makes sense for Paul,
Because Paul was Greek. Yeah.
he was Greek. He was Jewish. He was Greek, and he was bridging the gap between those two cultures. So it makes sense that a lot of the explanations and teaching style would have a lot of Greek philosophy in there. I don't know if that necessarily means that using a Platonic idea as a metaphor is the same as getting a window into the absolute metaphysical reality of things. Anywho,